Welcome back to the John Trading channel. In this video, I'm going to give you my price prediction for GALA in 2023. So make sure you stay tuned until the end of the video, as I have multiple different price targets that you won't want to miss out on. If you haven't already, leave a like on the video, make sure you're subscribed, and leave a comment if you're enjoying these daily crypto videos. Let's begin on the weekly time frame for GALA. Unfortunately, I'm not able to see the earliest price of GALA, which was back in 2019. We're only able to start in the middle of 2021, but that's the earliest price action I'm able to find at this current moment. So let's get straight into these price targets. I'm now on the daily time frame, so I can scroll into GALA and really show you my exact price targets. I'm actually going to scroll in even further and come over to this left-hand side here. You can see this is the current price for GALA. We need to come over here. So in this level for GALA, you can see that there was multiple price support levels in this area. Price was continuously supporting in this area. Then what happens when a support gets broken through? Support got broken through in this area, and you can see perfectly right here, it actually acted as a resistance level. Once price breaks through this level, it's always going to act as a resistance. Support gets broken to the downside, then bounces back up, tries to retest this level, and then continues off, continuing to the downside. You can actually see with the current price, which we had back in February of 2022, we came back and retested this level again. We came up, all the way up, retested this level, were not able to break through what this was originally a support level, now acting as a resistance level, also through here, resistance, 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 and then we got a really solid breakdown for GALA. So this is initially going to be my first price target for GALA. When these support levels break and then they act as resistance, they truly do act as a really strong resistance level. But the reason it's not going to act as a major resistance level in the future is price has already hit it once, hit it twice, hit it 3 and now 4 times. You imagine you're basically knocking at a door. If you only knock on the door once, then you're very unlikely for someone to come and open the door. But when you continuously keep knocking at that door, you're more likely to actually gain entry inside. And that's what we're doing here. We've already hit it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Now, when we come up for the 5th time into this area, it's not going to act as a major resistance level, as we've continuously already knocked on that price level. Now scrolling out on the weekly so I can show you the entire price chart for GALA, this is the level right in this area here where we had these multiple supports, broke down, acted as resistance, broke down, and then acted as resistance multiple times in this area. So you can see price is currently at that 2.9 cent price, and we're looking to come up to this 5.1 cent price. So you can see all the way up to here is roughly a 70% trade on GALA. This is extremely, extremely great. The reason being because if you were able to take this trade, you would put your stop just below this low in this area here, which would be an exact price stop of roughly 10%. And you're looking to gain over 70% on this particular trade. So that's an over 7-to-1 risk to reward ratio and roughly a 50-50 probability of occurring. So when you plug these in into your trader's equation, you're able to see a 7-to-1 risk to reward, only a 50-50 probability, but that's a massively positive trader's equation. If you were able to take this trade 1,000 times, you're going to walk away as a massive winner. So this is going to be my first price target for GALA in 2023. Again, I don't think it will act as that major resistance level, but since we've already knocked on that price is expected to come up to this area, have a tiny bit of a resistance before we then continue to the upside to my next target. I'm now going to scroll in on the daily time frame over on this area here so I can show you in more perfection. I'm going to now change over to the daily time frame and scroll into this area here so I can show you more precisely. Now let's scroll over to this part of the chart. You can see that this was the all-time high for GALA at around that 80 cent mark. Then we had that major downturn to the 15 cents, came back up and continued on. So I want to scroll into this area. You can see that was major support in this area. There was also major support in this area, slightly higher support in this area. And also in this area, you can see multiple green bars trying to continue price back up above that all-time high. But unfortunately, we weren't able to hold this price. Look what happened. We got a breakdown to the downside. We then came back, tried to retest this area right through here. Initially is a support level, support all through here, then gets broken down, acts as a resistance level, and then we get that major downside breakout on GALA. You can see that this price through here is roughly at 16 cents, and we're currently in that 2 cent range for GALA. So it's a massive drop from the downside from this level. So understanding that these support levels, once they get broken through, they're going to act as resistance. Again, may not act as that major resistance level, but a lot of people understand that once price comes back into this area at that 21-cent range, there is going to be resistance, because a lot of these traders using these support and resistance flips know exactly how they work, and they continuously work in the market. So you need to understand that once support gets broken through, it's always going to act as at least a small level of resistance. Very similar to how once a resistance level gets broken through, it then acts as a support level before then continuing again to the upside. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to act as a major resistance level, but when price does come into this area, it may come up, have a bit of a retest, come a little bit down before then continuing to its next target, target 3. So you can't just discount these support and resistance flips. You truly need to understand exactly how they work in the market. They might seem slightly simple, but you can see continuously price is doing these support and resistance flips before then making these major moves. And that's what we're expecting. Maybe we have a small amount of resistance in this area and then major breaks to the upside. So right in this level here is going to be my target 2 for GALA at around this 19-cent range. Scrolling out to the weekly time frame so I can show you, you can even see these levels better. Support gets broken down, tries for a retest in this area, then we get these major turns to the downside. So all the way down from this price target, we dropped over 90% from this level. So we look at the price currently right now, we're at that 2-cent range. If we were to make back up to target 2, that's over 500% for GALA, which definitely has potential to make there in 2023, especially when we get another bull run in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all these other cryptos. GALA is just going to follow. And again, you can have a very similar risk on this trade, roughly around that 10% risk, targeting that 500% gain. That's over a 50-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Even if this only has a 30% probability, I truly think it has somewhere around a 50-50 chance. Even if it only had that 30% probability, if you did this trade over 1,000 times, it would guarantee in your trader's equation that you would come out a very profitable person, because using a 50-to-1 risk to reward ratio, even if you only have that 30% chance of occurrence, that's still a massively positive trade if you plug all those numbers into your trader's equation. I have 2 more targets for you for GALA, so don't go anywhere as I scroll into this part of the chart at that all-time high on the daily time frame. Now, this was the all-time high for GALA at that 80-cent range. You can then see we made a really solid downturn. We came back up, also came back to this price. We were trying to support in this area. Then we made these 2 really solid downturns. So in this area, we do have a support. We do have another support area. We even tried in this area through here before we got that solid breakdown. And look where price came to retest. You can see right in this area, once support, right in these areas, does get broken, look at what it acted as. It acted as a resistance level. Price was never able to come above this before at this 40-cent range, then dropping all the way down to that 2-cent range. So over 95, 96, even 97% down for some of these traders. There would have been traders in the market buying up in these areas because you've got really strong bullish bars pushing to the upside. People bought in here and are actually holding today in their portfolio. So you've got this multiple confluence strategy, because once price does come back to this 39-cent range and people bought this price back in February of 2022, they've been holding for more than a year and a half, maybe even 2 years as we get to near the end of the year, and they're still holding this price. Once price comes back into this area, they're going to say, thank you for finally allowing me to get out of this trade, break even. And how do you get out of a long? When you've bought in the market, how do you get out of your position? Well, you need to sell. So not only have we got people using this as a support and resistance flip, looking to sell this area with one whole strategy, you've also got a second whole strategy looking to get out, break even on their trade. So you're going to have that double momentum play to the downside. You're going to have 2 different sets of traders trying to do the same thing in that area, which just means there's going to be more power. There's going to be more momentum in the trade at this area. So really understanding these support and resistance flips are really going to help you in your day-to-day trading. Let's now mark this level up right in this area as our target 3 for GALA in 2023. Again, scrolling back out on the weekly time frame, you can see how this was acting as support, got the breakdown, acted as a resistance level before we got this massive downturn in the market. So this is target 3. And if we look at the current price at that 2, 3 cent range and drag it all the way up to target 3, you can see that's a 1200% return for GALA on this particular target. If that can happen in 2023, that's going to be massive returns for a lot of people and you on this trade. So again, having a very similar risk to reward with this trade, if you're targeting a very similar stop using that roughly 10% in the market and looking to make 1200% in the market, that's a 120x potential return on GALA, especially when you plug it into your trader's equation. You have 120 risk to reward, then you plug it in. Let's even say it only has a 10% chance of occurring. I truly think it has a higher percentage, but let's just say it has 10%. If you were to plug that into your trader's equation, I guarantee that it would be a positive expectancy, since it's such a high price target, potentially might take into a 2024, especially since we're already halfway through the year. But it does not mean that GALA cannot reach this in 2023, might just push into slightly into 2024. Let's now look at my final price target for GALA. Now I'm going to use the trend-based Fibonacci extension. I'm going to start at this low right up here, bring it all the way up to the all-time high for GALA, and then drag it down to the all-time low for GALA. You can see how price is beginning to populate. Now, the main price that I'm actually looking at is what I like to call the golden zone, the 1618 to the 175 level on this extension trend Fibonacci level. Using Fibonacci is extremely helpful as it's using mathematics to give us targets. And look how perfect this is. Look at our trend-based Fibonacci extension. We're seeing that target 2 is hitting the 32.6 level on the Fibonacci. Then look, it's then perfectly hitting our target 3 at that 50% level for GALA. Then now look, it's perfectly hitting our target 3 using the 50% extension on the Fibonacci trend-based extension. So it is perfectly, the Fibonacci, I didn't even look before, it works perfectly with our already established targets. Now, if we're coming back up here, this is going to be our final target for GALA on this particular level. You can see if we're at our current price of around that 2 to 3 cent mark, that's over 4,500% return potential on this particular trade. You're basically making 50x on this potential trade. So again, this may not happen in 2023. It is probably slightly unlikely now, trying to get that 45x because we're already halfway through the year. This is going to take a little bit into 2024, but I don't think anybody's going to be complaining that it might take 7 or 8 months to make a 50x return in the market. So I really like using the trend-based Fibonacci, especially after I've done these levels. It's perfectly lining up exactly with some targets through here. It's also lining up perfectly with these support and resistance flips. So you would know once we're in this area, there is going to be at least a small amount of resistance. Price will come up, maybe have a small downturn before looking at target 3, small downturn before then looking at target 4. The reason this is you're having multiple different traders using complete different strategies, and they're all looking to do the same thing. You've got these support and resistance flip traders in here looking to sell. You've also got Fibonacci trend-based traders looking at these levels saying, yes, this is a high mathematical level to sell. This is another high mathematical level to sell. And this is our final high mathematical level to sell. So again, I don't think they're going to act as major resistance until we come up to this target 4 because of what we've done in the past. And especially if we're in that massive crypto bull run with every crypto during this time, then I don't think GALA is going to stall much to the downside. It's going to look at pushing all the way up to target 4 as soon as possible. That's all I have for you for today for the price prediction for GALA in 2023. I really hope you've enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, leave a like on the video, make sure you're subscribed, and leave a comment if you're enjoying these daily crypto videos. I'll see you in the next one.